What is the truth that you are living for? What is the thing that's running your life? What is that main thing that you're obsessed with that's running you and that's allowing you to go through your day every single day? That's allowing you to move throughout your day. Like the thing that just wakes you up to be able to go and do this thing every single day. I just want to talk a little bit about this for us Christians mainly. Right now, I want to talk about this a little bit. So what is the thing that we are trying to wake up every single day with and try to go towards? For us, we know like we're trying to think about Christ. Maybe we have Christ in the background. We're trying to get closer to Christ, but is it the thing that's mainly running our life? I want to talk about truth, like how important it is to allow ourselves to live in this truth, or just talk about it a little bit. I'm not saying that I know for sure like how important it is. This is something that I've been thinking about because I watched this movie called Under the Silver Lake, and this was an amazing freaking movie. So in this movie, this dude played by Andrew Garfield, he's over here and he's not the best dude. He's kind of like, he has his own gripes like we all do. He has his own things that he's going about. But the main thing in here is that he starts to get obsessed with trying to crack the code of the world. Like he has this little theory about like the owl woman that comes at night. He has this little theory about why people are disappearing. He has this little theory about the dollar bills, what's on the dollar bill, all this stuff. There's little insane theories that people can obsess over sometimes. He has these concepts, these ideas. He's like, okay, like this is what I'm trying to figure out. And he gets so damn obsessed with it. It starts to take over his entire life. He starts to figure it out little by little. And he does actually start to figure stuff out. He starts to realize like, okay, this random death that happened wasn't just random. It was actually this little rabbit hole that you can go down. And he ends up finding out that it was just a rich person deciding that he wants to ascend because he wants to be buried with his wives, his brides, and his possessions and all this stuff. So he ends up finding all this stuff, but at the end of the movie, he realizes that it's not really anything meaningful. It's not, he did all this stuff, and lo and behold, he was one of the lucky few that actually finds, the secrets of the world. But what does it lead to? Nothing. He ends up cracking the code. He finds some hidden tunnels that might have been bunkers, whatever it might be, but it ends up being like, he's like right back at square one. He can't pay his apartment. He gets evicted. And this movie really played that really well because it has all these little threads that you're going down and you think like, okay, he's going to figure it all out. It's going to lead to something big. But none of the threads get resolved at the end. It's kind of just like a meaningless ending. That's one of the first times I've ever seen that in a movie, but it's a meaningless ending because he was going down all these things, all these obsessions, and he doesn't really find any meaning in it. So it made me think about, I heard people talking about it at the end. I went to dive into what people were saying about it, and they were talking about how the meaningless is the purpose of the movie. How you can be going throughout your whole life, you're trying to figure out something, maybe you're obsessed with it, maybe you kind of like it. But depending on what we find meaning in is going to choose how we end up going about our life. If we find meaning in stuff like this, like these theories, these little things, and the things of the world, who is ruling the world, anything like that, we can find meaning in that. We could continue to go about our lives, obsessing over that. But where is that really going to lead us, man? Because at the end of the day, we're going to be by ourselves. We're going to have to think about like, was it worth it? Was it worth what I was doing here, trying to figure this out? Because I'm sure that you guys see a lot of the times people will be going towards, politics or things that are back and forth and here and there, and it can be a little bit of an obsession. And sometimes I think as Christians, we kind of look at that and we're like, why is that the most important thing, man? Because we know that at the end of the day, we're all going to freaking die. We're all going to pass away. And I think if you want to go and dive into that, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But sometimes it's like, what is the thing that's driving your life? If you sat back and you thought about it, like, what is the meaning of it? What is the why? Why are you doing this stuff, man? Because Andrew Garfield's character in here, he sees people die, he sees things happen, all for this theory that he's trying to solve that ends up being meaningless at the end. So for us as Christians, like, what is our truth that we're living for? What is that thing that's waking us up every day? Are we being led by the money that we're trying to get from something? Are we being led by the views we're trying to get on social media? Are we being led by the approval that we're trying to get from other people? Or are we being led by the service and trying to serve the Lord, trying to put him at number one and do everything for him above all else? Because then all of a sudden, anything that happens, we know that we're doing it for our meaning, our truth. And I'm not saying that everybody has to believe this, but what is your meaning, man? Like if you could really sit there and think about it. Would it be worth it for you? Would it be something that at the end of the day, are you going to feel happy going down this road that you're going down? You know, because we can sit back and look at Andrew Garfield's character in here and be like, why is he doing this? Like, this is something, it's interesting, but at the end of the day, why is he going to want to do this? Why is he going to want to find all these theories? And even if you crack the code, what does it mean? What are you going to do about it? You know, the world's going to be how it is. We understand that. We know the world's going to be how it is, but what is the truth that we want to live for? What is the thing that brings us actual fulfillment? I think that's one of the best things right there. What is the thing that actually brings us fulfillment in our everyday lives? It brings us joy, happiness, and peace. Because in the Bible, it says that Jesus told us that he has come so that we may live life in full, not so that we may be dragging around, anxious, stressed, like Andrew Garfield's character was, but to try to live life in full. And what is the truth that allows you to do that? And I feel personally, the closer we get to Jesus, the more that we're able to live life in full, in peace, and happiness, and joy. And the more that I center my life around that, the more I'm able to live through that and live in that truth and be able to live closer and closer to him, but also be able to live fuller and fuller. And maybe that's the most important why that we can have, man. So what is the truth that you're living in today, man? What is the reason why you're going to get up tomorrow? Have you set goals around it? Have you actually thought about it? Let me know down in the comments below, man. I thought this was super interesting, and I would really love to hear what you guys have to say about this. I love you guys. Hope you have an amazing day. Peace.